You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Let's go fishing with Phil Friedman. Ha!
Hi, this is JR with the Fibbers. You know what time it is?
It's time for the morning briefing.
Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. Dodgers win the World Series. What a game that was last night. Hope you all enjoyed that. Happy Halloween. It is Halloween, and man, it is well before sunrise because I have a really busy day ahead of me. Man, we're going to check on that yellowfin tuna south of the border. Speaking of south of the border, we'll check in on how things are going for Noli Yan Jr. He's on the no tuna, no chinga out of Puerto Vallarta, and they're having a magnificent trip. We'll also check in on our friends down there at Pirates fishing the Mag Bay area, a little bit breezy offshore. We'll check out Ensenada. We'll check out how that yellowfin tuna bite's going, how the bluefin tuna bite's going, and so much more, including a live update from Captain Daniel Hadaway up there on the Island Spirit out of Ventura Sport Fishing. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friend. My coffee is cold. It's so cold down here this morning. I had a little bit of a microphone snafu, so I'm using an alternative microphone. It's going to pick up that wave action in the background. Some of you really like that, like Dan Lightfoot. So there you have it. Some of you are going to get your wish. Hey, let me put my coffee cup down for right now, because it's really dark down here, so I'm going to have to use a flashlight to see my notes. Hey, if you don't mind, hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it when you do that. Also, share these videos with a friend. If you don't mind, subscribe to the Friedman Adventures channel right here down below and tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there's new content. You can also check us out on Facebook, over there on Instagram, on TikTok, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. It is so great to be with you all. Man, where did summer go? All of a sudden, it's cold. It feels a little bit like wintertime here this morning on this beautiful Halloween morning. And I can tell you right now, it's going to be a glorious sunrise here in another hour or so. It should be spectacular. Another great time for you to come down to the beach. I'll be at our home headquarters in just a little bit, 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California. Have a couple of interviews to do down there, and then I will be off doing some other great content for all of you here at Friedman Adventures. All right, hey, let's start out with Captain Daniel Hadaway. I talked to him during the World Series last night. We called it the Friedman Adventures 7th inning stretch to get an idea about what is going on up in the Channel Islands. I'll let Daniel tell you, because he just arrived. He ran, or was on the Endeavor, I should say. Tucker ran the boat, and Daniel was there working with him. He'll give you a little update on what they did on the Endeavor, as well as what they are planning for the Island Spirit this weekend. Take it away, Daniel. We're going to check in with my dear friend, Captain Daniel Hadaway. Daniel, it's been way too long. How are you?
It has been. How you doing, Phil?
I'm doing good. Had a great trip to Florida. I know not many people may watch us live tonight because we're right in the midst of a Dodger-Yankee game, and the Dodgers have just come back from 5-zip to tie the game at 5-5. But a lot of people are going to watch the replay of this, and we want to find out what's happening up there in the Channel Islands. I know on your last trip you had phenomenal fishing. The bottom bite looks great right now.
Yeah, it's really good. It's the rock fishing lately has been as good as it gets locally here, so excited to keep doing some of that. Do have plenty of open party opportunities up. Our deep water rock fishing Fridays, I think we're going to continue doing those throughout the month of November. So we're going to change that to about an hour earlier departure. We'll obviously stay, past the posted return time as well. And that'll be at the same price as a regular trip. We're gonna keep the deep water cod Fridays going. Those have been pretty fun. And then on the weekends as well, be doing a mix of some possibly shallower water fishing for whitefish and stuff like that, and then go do some coding in the deep water as well.
That is an unbelievable deal to fish that big giant cod at the very same price. That's really an outstanding deal.
Yeah, definitely. It's great value and it's a lot of fun. We've been having pretty light loads too. So getting out with, less than 20 people on a boat this size is a blast.
All right. Hey, Dan Lightfoot joins us. And by the way, my buddy's a big Yankees fan. I hear him cheering out there. So I don't know what that means. Dan Lightfoot says, how many ounces of weight have you guys been using? How's it going, guys? Dan, great to see you. Michael, great to see you.
Yeah, good to hear from you, Dan. We've been using 16 ounces of weight has been the go-to. We recommend everybody to fish with 16 ounces at a minimum. Some guys like to fish with heavier, especially the guys that use the electric reels and stuff like that. They'll bomb down those 20s or 24s, and that works totally good as well.
All right. Hey, I lied about nobody watching us tonight. We're getting quite a few people who are on here. Robert Graber is one of the greatest guys you'll ever meet, like Dan. He says, let's go, Dodgers. Let's go, Phil and Daniel in the Friedman Adventure family. Good to see you again, Captain Daniel. He's happy to see you, and so am I. Dan,
Thank you, Rob.
maybe you could explain one thing to everybody because I think they have stuck in their head you have to fish 300 feet or deeper, but that does not stop you from fishing in the shallows for whitefish and sheephead, correct?
Correct. So the way the regulation works is all of your rockfish have to be in 300 feet or deeper. And once you have any kind of rockfish on the boat, you cannot go and fish shallower than 300 feet. So on days where we have really nice weather per se, and I don't think we're gonna have trouble catching our cod, we'll perhaps go into the shallow water first, try to mess around with some whitefish, sheephead, whatever. And if you were to incidentally catch any kind of rockfish in there, they have to be released, and you can only start keeping rockfish once you're in 300 feet or deeper. So that's probably going to be the game plan for our upcoming trips.
All right. And so when people get ready to get tackled up for a trip, should they come prepared to fish sheephead, whitefish, and the deep water?
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't hurt to just have a couple smaller sinkers in case we're going to be targeting whitefish and stuff like that. But the primary focus is to try to send everybody home with limits of cod. So you want to make sure that you have a couple 16-ounce sinkers in case you get stuck and lose one or whatever. Just make sure you got a couple of those 16-ounce sinkers, and then you can also bring like a 8 or a 10-ounce as well.
All right. So deep water Fridays. How about Sundays? Kids Fish Free still going on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna keep that going throughout the end of the year. Every single Sunday, you can bring a child ages 12 or under for free with each paid adult ticket.
All right. Very good. Hey, are you a baseball fan, by the way?
Honestly, I'm not. I'm not a baseball guy. If there
I'm
was
not either.
a football game on or something, I'd be watching that right now. But no, no, not really a baseball dude.
Hey, I got to tell you something real quick off the subject of fishing. We'll get back to fishing in a minute, but I know you'll appreciate this story. I get to Florida, Dan. My son Patrick
Yeah.
goes, Dad, you love college football. Let me throw some games at you. So he starts throwing games, and I'm picking, I'm picking,
Mhm.
I'm picking, I'm picking. And at the end of it all, he goes, okay, we got 10 games here. Let's do a parlay. And he goes, how much? I go, 15. He thought I said 50. We get to the LSU game, which is a barn burner. This was a few weeks ago. I forget even who they were playing. And we're 8 out of 10.
Oh,
Eight
nice.
out of 10. We catch the LSU game, and then we go into a game, Hawaii and Boise. We have Boise. They're going to blow them out of the water. But the app is sending Patrick messages saying, we'll give you $1,000 right now to kiss this thing goodbye. And I'm telling Patrick, you can't lose taking the money, Patrick. And he's
Yep.
going, Dad, we're riding this out. And frickin' Boise had a hell of a time putting Hawaii to sleep, but they finally did, and we ended up 10 for 10. Never even
Wow.
come close to anything like that. So I knew
Yeah.
you'd love that, man.
No, that's
So
great.
when you say fishing is really good up there, are you talking about the quality of the fish, the numbers of fish, or both?
Yeah, both. I mean, the quality's been outstanding. It's been pretty, fast too. Um, all these rocks that we've been fishing lately, it's, as soon as you get to the bottom before people are even getting in gear, they're already getting bites. There's a lot of those like high biters too, like those chilies and Floridas and all those tasty critters. We had a lot of people getting bit on the way down, stuff like that. It's just really, really healthy rockfish population around right now.
All right, good. A couple questions for you. Fluorocarbon, do you recommend that when you're cod fishing? Is that necessary?
I don't think it's necessary. I mean, if you want to use fluorocarbon on that, feel free, but it's pretty expensive. I personally just use like 40-pound mono.
Okay, perfect. And when you're fishing bait, does it having a good hot bait matter when you're fishing cod or not?
Again, it doesn't matter too much when you're dropping it down to you know 400 feet on a dropper loop. It doesn't matter if your sardine or anchovy super lively or not.
All right, Dan Lightfoot wants to know live bait or strip bait, or I think if I know you, Dan, you're going to say both.
Absolutely, I always recommend both. I recommend people put live bait on their bottom hooks and stripped squid on their top hooks. We typically have people drop down that way, and it's been working pretty well.
All right, you're a hardworking guy. You just got in from working on the Endeavor. Why don't you give us a little Endeavor update? How'd that trip go for you?
Yeah, it was a good trip. We just did some bottom fishing, got our whitefish and rockfish limits, really good quality on the whitefish, some sheephead mixed in, really nice big reds. It's a fun trip.
All right, excellent. How's your weather up there right now?
Weather's beautiful. Today was pretty much as good as it gets. It was super nice, and looks like we have some more nice weather through the weekend. Looks like I think there's some snotty weather coming maybe Monday, Tuesday next week. But last I checked, the weather looks pretty good for this weekend upcoming here.
All right, what's your Halloween costume going to be?
Haven't planned it yet, but might go to a Halloween party, so we're gonna have to figure that out.
Well, we're going to want a photo from that, man.
All right, we'll send you one.
All right, so Deepwater Friday, Saturday, you're available, and then on Sunday, it looks like we got Kids Fish Free. Mike Dwyer says, clap your cheeks on the chat one time, bro. All right, the guy on the left. Oh, clap my cheeks? I don't know. What do you mean by that? Do you know?
No, that was funny though.
How do we make a reservation with you, Daniel? What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, you guys can either go online to venturasportfishing.com, select book now, and click on Island Spirit, and we'll be able to pull up our full schedule, see what our reservations look like, and choose the day that works for you. Our online booking process is super easy to navigate, or if you'd like, you can call the landing as well. Either Sal or one of our other friendly office staff members are going to be more than happy to help you guys out. The phone number is 805-676-3474.
All right, good stuff. Michael Dwyer, I have no idea what you're talking about, or I would do it. Hey, Daniel, one more thing. 16 ounces, is that heavy enough, or do you recommend more?
Yeah, I think 16 ounces is plenty good. If you have bigger sinkers and you like, maybe using a heavier weight to try to keep the scope out of your line a bit, nothing wrong with that.
All
I've had
right.
plenty of people use 20 and 24-ounce sinkers, and those will work just fine as well.
Daniel, really good to see you, man. I missed you, and we'll do more of these here. Great fishing to you this coming weekend, and we'll let everybody get back to the Dodgers-Yankees game. Thanks for making time for me tonight, and once again, always great to see you, my friend.
Absolutely appreciate it. Appreciate your time, Phil, and have a good night, everybody.
All right, take care and have a happy Halloween, Daniel.
Alrighty, you too.
I hope you can get up there and join them this weekend. It should be a lot of fun. Friday, Deepwater. Saturday is going to be a fun day. And Sunday, Kids Fish Free on the Island Spirit out of Ventura Sport Fishing. South of the border, we'll take you. And let's go all the way down to Puerto Vallarta, where our dear friend Noli Yan Jr., he's a great guy. He's down there fishing on the no tuna, no chinga. And he says it has been an absolutely spectacular trip, no question about it. Fishing out of Marla Sport Fishing, they've had perfect weather. Chef Carlos has been putting out some delicious grub for everybody on board, really gourmet type meals. And the fishing on the big yellowfin has been outstanding. A 277-pound YFT for Min Kang. Nice hit for him. How about a 201-pound yellowfin tuna for Greg Sasaki? Also plenty of 70 to 130-pound YFT, biting on the caballitos and the squid. It's been really great. They also caught a rare barred pargo that they released, and Noli ended up with a nice rooster fish that they also released. He also caught and released a 200+ pound blue marlin. How can it get any better than that? You throw some amberjack in the shallows, and it has been a really great trip. We'll keep our eyes on those boys down there for you very closely. Still catching yellowtail at Cedro. Cedro Sport Fishing reporting good yellowtail action. There's been some occasional halibut down there and some really good calico bass fishing, but there are still yellows biting down there at Cedros for Cedro Sport Fishing. How can you beat that really great stuff going on south of the border up there in Ensenada? That's a 70-mile drive down into Baja California. I may be going down there for Dia de los Muertos. I'm waiting to hear on some plans we have down there, and we may very well head south and go check it out. There are bluefin tuna right offshore. The weather's nice this morning. Guys are out there taking a look at that. Hopefully then it's going to settle in and bite. We're watching that very, very closely for you. If it doesn't manifest itself, there's plenty of rockfish there in Ensenada right now, and that has been quite good, no question about that. A little breezy this morning, but an absolutely lovely morning, and it is going to be a sunrise to die for. I hope you get a chance to get down here and check it out. Let's go long range talk. Independence, they caught smaller yellowfin tuna yesterday, but as we speak, they have chunked up some of that smaller yellowfin tuna, and they're down on the lower banks, just arriving right now this morning. They're going to use that chunk bait to see if they can't put some monster YFT on the boat. The long range scene in general has been outstanding. Wahoo fishing's been a little bit more hit and miss here recently. Same with the yellowtail action, but the yellowfin tuna bite has been spectacular. I mean, it can't get much better. On board the Red Rooster 3, they're on an 8-day trip with the guys from Shark Bait, and they're doing really good. The weather was up, but it's really nice here this morning. That is good to hear. They've got calm seas, and yesterday they were involved in just one extra long drift. They never moved, catching that 50 to 80 pound yellowfin tuna. I don't know how you can beat that. Really great stuff going on. All right, let's get you up a little bit closer to home and talk that yellowfin tuna down at 150, 160 miles. The Tribute was on it yesterday, and it was biting pretty darn well. Excellent fishing on that yellowfin tuna has been the rule. And, you know, when we're fishing the bluefin, a lot of this year, it's that lighter fluorocarbon, like 25 pound, and a smaller hook. Man, it's the exact opposite on this yellowfin tuna. Full speed, biting the 80-pound fluorocarbon. For sure the 60-pound. If you're fishing 40-pound, you're going to lose your fish. They're too big. They're too tough. You want to fish heavy, and some guys have even thrown 100-pound and gotten a bite on it. It has been spectacular. Those clear poppers have also been very, very effective on this fish. We've seen fish taken on Daiwa Sakana, Cold Sniper type lures. That's also been really, really good. But most of the time, it's a fly line bait on the heavy line. You can fish a bigger hook. Really great fishing on that yellowfin tuna. We'll see how it goes down there today. We're watching it very, very closely for you all. Also, as we continue to monitor the bluefin tuna bite out on Tanner and Cortez Bank, nobody out there here recently. The weather's been snotty, but it's nice now. So hopefully we'll get some boys out there checking that out. Again, Tanner Cortez is out past Catalina, past San Clemente Island, and there has been some really much slower bluefin tuna fishing over the course of the last week or so. There's plenty of big rockfish in the vicinity and over there at San Nicolas Island. So hopefully that is going to bite for all the boys. If that bluefin tuna doesn't bite, I think we'll get some LA Orange County based boats out there checking it out. So again, we'll watch that for you very, very closely. So we take a look at our island situation. The Coronado Islands yesterday, just a few yellowtail for the San Diego. They surmised that perhaps it was that windy weather and the drop in water temperature that gave that fish lockjaw. They saw a lot of yellowtail, but it just was not in a biting mood. Hopefully they're out this morning. They're trying to get enough people to run, and if they get out, they're going to get some biting fish. Maybe a day of recuperation for the ocean's environment is just what it needed. We'll see as we go along. So watching that bite for you very closely. Out there at San Clemente Island, there's a lot of squid there, and guys are using that squid to fish dropper loop, catching some big yellows, occasional white sea bass. Nothing wide open yet, but a good influx of squid there, and that is what the doctor ordered. The predators won't be far behind that. Catalina Island, we continue to see mammoth rockfish as we fish the deep water out there. A lot of big lings and boccaccio and reds, and again, the fishing out there, when you're fishing that deep water, you're definitely going to want to have a 16-ounce torpedo sinker to make things happen. The El Patron is headed out there this weekend, and they run out of Long Beach sport fishing and do such a great job. I hope you can get on the El Patron. All you have to do is go to www.longbeachsportfishing.org and get on the El Patron. Bring the heavy lead and catch yourself some beautifully delicious rockfish. It's been spectacular. There's also been a little bit of bonito and a few calico bass, but a lot of the boys now are focused in on that rockfish. You heard from Daniel Holloway what's going on in the Channel Islands up past there, up there in Santa Barbara, Avila Beach, Morro Bay area, up there in San Francisco. Great rock fishing when the weather cooperates. A lot of big lings all throughout that area also, so we'll keep our eyes on that. And don't forget, you can get on the Island Spirit this weekend by giving them a call at 805-676-3474, or you can visit VenturaSportFishing.com. All right, as we take a look at our local situation, 1/2 and 3/4 day boats, we continue to see some really excellent fishing on rockfish. Not much of a surface bite. There's the occasional halibut, short bass out of Dana War Sport Fishing, but a lot of that big rockfish biting right now here on Halloween. It should be another spectacular day for all of that. Don't forget, if you're having tax issues, you're going to want to turn to Tim Marquez. He does it better than anybody at A Best Income Tax. And for your heating and or air conditioning needs, it's John Lopez at Efficient Heating and or Air Conditioning. In the Southern California surf, I'll point you down to Big Fish Bait and Tackle on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. They've got all the bait you'll need for a successful outing and all the tackle you'll need for surf fishing, and also everything in between, right on up to big game marlin and bluefin tuna, right there on the corner. And purchase your ruler. If you're a surf fisherman, you purchase a ruler down there, and you'll use that ruler to measure your prize catch with, and then you'll be able to be eligible for a free, beautiful custom surf fishing rod every single month with the biggest fish. They'll give you all the details down there at Big Fish. Down at the Huntington Beach area, we have seen some outstanding fishing going on down in that neck of the woods for some bar perch, mostly bar perch as the water temperature is cooling down, but there's been a few spot fin and yellowfin croaker here behind me. I know you can't see it, neither can I really. Out there, we've seen a few nice yellowfin croaker here and some bar perch to go along with that. And we've also seen a fair share of Corbina up there in the Santa Monica Bay around the Topaz Rock Jetty and surrounding areas. Hey, I wanted to mention to you while we were on the Mexico thing, the Pirates operate out of Mag Bay, and it was too windy to get offshore there, so they fished the mangroves here yesterday, and man, they had great fishing for red snapper, snook, and grouper. Too windy offshore, you get to fish inshore with the Pirates and fish those mangroves and have some really excellent fishing indeed. All right, well before sunrise, and it's a beautiful Halloween morning. I'll have more content today as the day goes along. It should be a lot of fun today. Hope you have a really great Halloween this evening. And once again, to all you Dodger fans out there, congratulations on a big win indeed. Have a great one, my friends, and I hope to see you really, really soon. Have a great morning.